it is very evident that Assam is going through a severe identity crisis. If I'm sure you agree with me. And
Yeah,
these
definitely.
stem from two problems that you primarily point to. One is land grabbing, and the other one is the illegal infiltration by these people. How best can we identify a solution, and what is the solution going forward? What can the government do?
Yeah, actually, very true. I completely agree with you because Assam's fight today is equally against the encroachers as much as it is against their patronizers. And these patronizers are the people who are occupying some top posts in the bureaucracy, in the academia, in think tanks, in politics, etc. And they are adept at the art of crafting an anti-Hindu narrative and the propaganda of Muslim victimhood politics every time an eviction drive takes place. So, what recently happened at Gorokhuti was nothing but only a small glimpse of the growing political and financial influence of the infiltrators or encroachers. Land is their primary target and will continue to remain ever so. The BJP-led alliance, it has vowed to protect the Jati, Mati and Bheti. Jati means community, Mati means land, and Bheti means home of the Assamese people. But the infiltrators are hell bent on wiping out all traces of the same Jati Mati Bheti every single day. Uh, One advocate of the Supreme Court of India, Upamanyu Hazarika, he had earlier informed that there exist a few villages in the same Dorong district of Lower Assam where immigrants not only outnumber the natives but the natives, they have been actually pushed into ghetto like dwellings in their own ancestral abode, and the ramifications of this unabated infiltration of people have now come to severely bear upon the vital statistics of the state in terms of basic self-sufficient sustenance. The crime patterns in many places have vastly changed. Forced abductions and conversion of Hindu girls and even married Hindu women into Islam have become a routine problem. And it would perhaps not be an exaggeration to say that not a single Hindu mandir, especially in districts like Dhubri and Borpeta, the districts which share a border with Bangladesh, has been spared by thieves and burglars. So, accordingly, the trend of democratic politics has also changed in Assam over the years. I mean, going back to history, the unfulfilled dream of people like Muhammad Ali Jinnah and Moinul Haq Chaudhary and the entire Muslim League to include Assam in Bangladesh is continuously being pursued. Therefore, issues related to land have always been complex affairs. And this is especially true in a state like Assam, where demographic change over the past several decades has been mostly artificially engineered. The modus operandi of the infiltrators is to grab the land of the native residents of the area by whatever means they can apply. And in many instances, they also try to legally possess cultivable land. The process of completely evicting the illegal infiltrators from their lands is long term because these are mostly government lands where they have encroached, or lands which have been procured through land mafias who force the owners of these lands to sell them at throwaway prices. In the recent incident at Gorokhuti, the police perhaps believed that the migrants would be deterred by the show of force and were therefore unprepared for the kind of mob reprisal which actually took place that day. But could the district administration really would have been able to avert the whole imbroglio? That is the question. Had they been better prepared for it? Because several episodes in the socio-political history of Assam in the past, they are proof enough of the fact that these encroachers are not the ones who would give up their landholding so easily.
Right.
And land encroachment by illegal settlers, it has now become a question of existential survival for the common Assamese people. The Assam movement, the Brahma Committee report on land rights that we have, Upamanyu Hazarika's one-man commission on border sealing, the National Register of Citizens, NRC, the anti-CA movement, and most recently, the Clause 6 recommendations of the Assam Accord of 1985, they all had the immigration issue as a contributory factor at the very least. The Upamanyu Hazarika Commission report even mentioned that illegal immigration from Bangladesh is threatening to reduce the indigenous population of Assam to a minority in their own homeland by the year 2047. Then former Chief Election Commissioner H.S. Brahma, who headed the Committee for the Protection of Land Rights of Indigenous People that was constituted by the Sarbananda Sonowal government in 2016. It had submitted a report to the government of Assam, which gave a detailed account of the problem of land encroachment in the state. And in its report, the committee gave a series of recommendations on amending the land laws. It had estimated that around 63 lakh bighas of government land was under illegal occupation in Assam. And this is an area twice the size of Goa, as mentioned in the report. And as per this report, the total area encroached upon includes 3,172 square kilometer of forested lands, besides the huge tracts of land belonging to the Vaishnavite satras, namghars, and mandirs that have been encroached by infiltrators. And it also mentioned that the people of Assam, as you have also already said, they are facing a serious crisis of identity as their land has been encroached upon. The report specifically observed that in case no effective constitutional, legal, and administrative steps, including sealing of the Indo-Bangladesh border and detection and deportation of the illegal infiltrators are taken, unless these steps are taken, the indigenous people of Assam are bound to be reduced to a landless class of people and become foreigners in their own homes. And this report also pointed out one very important fact, that all lands in the riverine areas or the char areas of Assam are settled by a well-established institution known as the Matabbar or Diwani. And for all practical purposes, this Matabbar or Diwani plays the role of the government. It makes out allotments of land to the Muslims. They are landlords with sprawling estates wielding tremendous political and financial clout, which dissuades others from actually raising a voice against them. The socio-political and economic lives of the people of the state have been affected in many different and complex ways because of such land grabbing. And politically motivated narratives such as religious intolerance, violation of human rights, discrimination against Muslims, etc., they have been deliberately woven in order to hide the real problem that no longer can be understood simply as a Hindu-Muslim concern. It has more to do with the land rights of the common people of Assam and the constant threat posed to their lives and livelihoods by the infiltrators.
Right.
So eviction drives in Assam have to be a continuous process in the larger interest of freeing the local people's lands and government lands, which have been forcefully occupied by the illegal Bangladeshis for several years now. And at a time when the issue of migration has challenged global political systems in the West, not expecting a popular reaction from the common people of Assam is too naive, actually, because in a state like Assam, almost 1/3 of the population has become that of migrants. And there has been a disproportionate increase, I would say, in the Muslim population of Assam over the past few decades. And the demographic change is starkly visible. So this brings us to the last question: what can be a permanent and long-term solution to the problem of land encroachment by infiltrators in Assam? So what we need to accept here is that over the years, the problem of encroachment of government lands in several areas of Assam never fell in the government's priority list, actually, of the previous governments. And till date, a thorough survey of the people in districts like Dhubri, South Salmara, Mankachar, Borpeta, Gwalpara, which share a border with Bangladesh, including Nagaon district in central Assam, etc., a thorough survey of the people in these districts who became landless due to Islamic demographic invasion has not been carried out. So this has only expanded this problem because it has left enough space for the encroachers to claim that they are erosion hit people. And one of the possible solutions to this problem can be that the state government can carry out a thorough survey of all the landless people in the state and allot small plots of land to them. And after this is done, there must be strict vigilance and no one should be allowed to encroach upon government lands, because it is seen that those evicted usually encroach upon lands elsewhere again very soon. So undoubtedly, large scale encroachment of government lands, including forest lands, could not have been possible in the past without political patronage. The situation is dangerous all over the state, particularly in 8 to 10 districts of Lower Assam. And as per the census data of 2011, 2021 is still not out. As per the census data of 2011, districts like Borpeta, Bongaigaon, Dorong, Dhubri, Gwalpara, Hailakandi, Karimganj, Morigaon, Nagaon, they have been most seriously affected because of the demographic change. And these are also the districts which have contributed in a large measure to the changing religious demographic pattern of Assam. So the recent incident at Gorukhuti and the Sipaja revenue circle in Dorong district of Lower Assam and the subsequent events that unfolded as I have described, it has once again demonstrated that there is just no alternative to a protective legislation for safeguarding the land and livelihood rights of the common people of Assam. Because if a protective legislation reserving land for the native people is put in place, then those of Bangladeshi origin would no longer be able to acquire permanent rights over land. And detailed recommendations in this regard have been given by the committee constituted under Clause 6 of the Assam Accord by the central government, because it has recommended reservation of land, employment, and trade based on an NRC that is carried out with 1951 and not 1971 as the base year. Encroachment is an offense under the Assam Land Grabbing Act of 2010 with a maximum punishment of 5 years. And over and above this, when encroachers attack police personnel undertaking eviction operations, it constitutes yet another offense.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.